and Anley and Breezy and John and Amy and Trisha and Ron. Yay! This was a morning of firsts. This was Kristen's first time of presenting a gift. This was Ann Lee's first time of leading a sing-along. And this was Nancy's first time of doing a greeting. And one fascinating thing that's going on under on the side is that Nancy Walton and Ann Lee Waits went to the same high school together. They ran on the same track team, and there is a picture of them standing next to each other. And then they meet here at this center because we are vibratory beings connected. Good, thank you. So today I want to talk about the game of life, and this was brought up to me through our reading in our summer prosperity class, the Mae McCarthy book, The Path to Wealth. She refers to this as the book that her mother gave her when she graduated high school. Her mother gave her The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn, and I had read it years ago, but I hadn't read it in a long, long time, and I went online, and sure enough, you can buy it from Barnes & Noble, I think 4 of her books for 99 cents. So I downloaded those and was once again reminded of how much I love old-time metaphysics. I love the roots of our teaching and how it can be presented in such a way that says every moment of your life you are choosing what you will create. And when you choose mindfully, you set spiritual law in motion, and life manifests that as your experience. She talks about how we have a superconscious mind, a conscious mind, and a subconscious mind. And she said that so many of us try to live our lives from our conscious mind, not realizing that that is a very, very small part of us. That it's our subconscious mind that drives the experiences in our lives, usually totally unconsciously. She says, if you don't run your subconscious mind, someone else will. Parents, teachers, newscasters. Have you ever looked on the internet for good news? There's all kinds of good news going on. There's all kinds of great things happening in the world, but are you going to hear it on ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, Fox News? Are you going to hear it on CNN? No. What we're going to do is have the if it bleeds, it leads kind of thing, and then you can be under the illusion, the misunderstanding that life is not going great. Life is going great. Life is going great. We are prospering more than we ever have. We are living longer than we ever have. There are more children being cared for now than ever has been before. Life is going great. But when we just let the outside world tell us what life is, then that's what we get. And then we get it and we think that we thought it because we got it. Not realizing that we got it because we thought it. And we may have thought it completely unconsciously, but we think it nonetheless. So here we are, back in the early 1920s, getting these lessons that say you have to control the unconscious part of you, the subconscious part of you, the subjective part of you, because that's what's fueling spiritual law. And you don't do it with your conscious mind. We try so hard. God, we want to be in control so badly. We want to know exactly how it's going to work out so that we can feel safe and push to have that happen, when we don't realize there is a huge part of us that is so much bigger than we can ever understand consciously. There is a superconscious part of us. There is a part of us that is one with all. In our Monday night prosperity class, we have named it our Chief Spiritual Officer. Our Chief Spiritual Officer allows us to turn over our demonstrations, to set the intention to be grateful for it, and then to let it go. And I don't know about you, but letting it go has not always been easy for me. Because I want to hold on, see what's coming before it comes, be ready for it, and then know exactly what's going to happen. Except if I know exactly what's going to happen, how am I going to demonstrate anything new? I want things that I don't even know are going to happen yet to happen to me. I want great and glorious, prosperous, loving, joy-filled experiences to happen to me that I don't even know how that's going to be. I don't need to have a clue, in a nice way. Boy, she doesn't have a clue. I don't need to have a clue as to how it's going to work out. All I need to know is that whatever God is, whatever Spirit is, has whatever it takes for that which I want to manifest into form as my life. And I don't care what the doctors are saying. I don't care what the family is saying. I don't care what the economy is saying. I don't care what the bank account is saying. I know what is possible. People look at me and they go, boy, you're pretty out there saying you just want to pay off your $1 million of mortgage payments here or debt here at the center. And I go, yes, I am, because I want to be out there. I would rather be out there and fall down than be in here and be safe. They say the two choices you only ever get are freedom or safety. And I know the limitations of safety, and I know the risk of freedom. But I would rather risk and have a chance at freedom than be safe for the rest of my life. Safety is not all that it's cracked up to be. I was out this week being pulled behind Dee Brooks' boat. Some of you may have seen the Facebook picture that my sister so wonderfully took of me and posted. Hanging on for dear life on this thing called a tube. A tube. You grab hold of it, and they gave me the signs. This is stop. This is slow down, and this is speed up. So I was on there and I was being really cocky, and I looked up at the boat and I went like this, and oh my God, I thought I was going to die out there. All of a sudden, the water got hard as concrete, because when you're going very quickly on water, it gets really hard, and I thought if I let go, the reason they had me wear a life jacket is because if you let go and knock yourself out unconscious, you won't drown out there. And just as I'm getting in the water, Dee comes up to me and says, "It's been so nice knowing you." But why do we do these things? We do these things to have a taste of freedom, because standing on the shore will keep you safe, but it won't give you a rush. It won't give you this exhilaration of life. And I want to have that exhilaration of life. I want us to be a shining example in this movement of how we too can have every center debt-free and prosperous, so that we're not qualifying what we do and how we do it based on, well, is the money in the bank, or can we raise enough money to fund this? That we just have that. And you know, it's not unique. Every Christian Science church in the world is paid for. They don't have a lot of people because they have a limited construct of how to grow. Every Mormon temple is paid for. And they have a lot of people and a lot of money. Huh. Just thinking about that. But I would like us as religious science centers to step up and take our rightful place as having that paid off. And I would like everyone who is a member or a friend of a Center for Spiritual Living to release any and all debt. And I know we have done this already. We have people who just in 4 or 5 weeks have gone completely out of debt. It is possible. And when we open up our ideas to a possibility of something greater, something happens. Spiritual law gets involved. And if we have a lot of unconscious beliefs that say, well, you're just getting to be too big for your britches, and what will your friends say if you all of a sudden don't have anything to worry about or to complain about, you know, let them either say positive things or let them go talk to someone else who is still in debt and burdened. If we have unconscious beliefs that say you can't do that, it is our job to challenge those to set a higher reality in motion. And again, we don't have to know how it's going to work. If we know how to work it out, we are actually limiting the process of creation to that which we already know. And remember, if we already know it, we've already lived it, and if we've already lived it, we're not going to get anything new. We're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. So what we do is we open up our ideas, our mind to ideas of infinite possibility, and then we turn it over. And that's when I get anxious. I don't know about you, but I get anxious when I turn it over. You know, really, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm just supposed to be relaxing and enjoying my day. I'm not sure how that works. Shouldn't I be out working hard and making sure that everything is in order? When I do that, I limit my creation. When I turn it over to something, then something else happens. But you know, it's not outside of us. It is that something within us that we don't have a conscious awareness of, but sometimes you get a glimpse. Sometimes when you're in meditation, you get a glimpse of something that is vibrant and alive and moving, and it is wonderful and love and joy-filled, and somehow we're connected with all of that. They call that a peak experience. Sometimes we get a touch of that when we're doing treatment work or hearing someone else do treatment work, and we get a sense that there is an us that is greater than we know. And that is what we build on. We are not mere humans. We are God beings. We are spirit in form as us. And how does that work? I don't know. I can say the words, but I don't really have a sense of how all of God is present at the point of me right now. All I know is that that has to be. And so since it is, I might as well use it. I have all of God at my disposal. Not consciously, but I can use my conscious mind to direct. I can use my conscious mind to convince my subconscious or subjective, and as such, set the super me in motion and watch how things demonstrate. Otherwise, we simply live our lives the way most people on the planet do. Lives of quiet desperation, lives of the law of averages, Murphy's Law lives. I don't want to do that. I want to somehow reach beyond that which I have known up until now and grab hold of something. And know that there is something there to grab hold of. I remember when John and I first met, he would always say, life's a game. And you know, it would just, clean up your language, it would just annoy the heck out of me. Well, it's just a game, it's just life. Because I was so busy with life being a big deal. I was a new minister. The weight of the entire center rested on me. That's probably why my husband at the time and I got divorced. You know, I was carrying it all. I was so important and it was such a big deal. And he would come along and just say, oh, come on, it's a game. Life's a game. I would go, how can you do that? How can you make light of such big deals? Well, you know John, it was really easy for him. And then I started thinking about it. If we think a thought, set spiritual law in motion, and it demonstrates, and if we understand that, then for us to think a thought that we don't want to demonstrate is really doing us a disservice. And if all we are responsible for is the thinking of the thought, then we might as well think a thought that we want to experience. It seems pretty simple when you don't have any emotions involved. Oh, but they're talking about not reproducing, repossessing my car. Oh, but they say they don't want to be in a relationship with me anymore. Oh, it's such a big deal. It's not a big deal, it's a game. And there are certain rules to the game. If you think a thought, whether you think it consciously or subconsciously, it will manifest in your life. Now, does it manifest instantaneously? I tell you, the clearer you are, and the more along the spiritual path you are, the faster it manifests. So we start to think, well, I don't want to live that out right now. Maybe I should change my thought and think another thought. This is a game. And all we need to do is set the law in motion. Did you ever push down dominoes? You got to do the work to get the dominoes all set up, but once you push the first one down, you're done. Then you just sit back and watch. This is the same kind of thing. We've spent all of our lives setting up dominoes. Spiritual law sets the dominoes up. Doesn't matter how far-fetched the idea is, how many people need to be involved. It doesn't even matter if you have to go back in time to have things change. Spiritual law sets it all in motion, and all you have to do is push the first domino and sit back and watch. And if you're pushing dominoes that have you in pain, struggling, or suffering, stop it. Look for a better domino. Think a better thought. Abraham says, just choose a better feeling thought. Change your vibration. You become in vibrational alignment with that which you wish to have. And what Shin and Mae McCarthy say is, don't outline that which you wish to have. Just know that it's in alignment with how you're feeling great. If you want to have more money, feel more prosperous, give money away, throw it up in the air. It's wonderful. And watch how that manifests in your life. But if you say, I want to have more money and I want to have it through that job, you're limiting your demonstration. Shin talks about a divine plan, a divine pattern of you that is God in form. And we talk about it as you already having vibrant health, abundant prosperity, loving relationships, and joy-filled success. That you already have that. And so what she's talking about is simply uncovering that divine nature that you already are. Last week we talked about how you deserve to have that. If you weren't here last week, you really might want to listen to me on the internet. It's fantastic. And hello to all you out there in internet land. I got an email from a woman today from I got an email from a woman on Friday from California that said she just found our website and it has changed her life. That she is taking the prosperity class online with us and looking to see how she can move to Asheville to be a part of this center. So life is a game. Take all of the pressure off. You don't have to do it. You don't have to figure it out. You don't even have to know who's going to be involved. All you do is set spiritual law in motion. But you set it in motion over and over and over and over again. You spend time to go inside and have deep conviction. Sometimes the conviction is just, well, it's possible. That's good enough. Remember, Ernest says all you need is 51% faith. That's it, 51%. You don't have to be all holy and enlightened to have this teaching work for you. You need 51%. If you don't have 51%, come and see one of the practitioners that are going to be up here after the celebration, and they can lend consciousness. They stand in that knowing with you and lift up your percentage. It's fantastic. You don't have to have faith that it's going to happen. You can just have faith that they have faith. We're making this as easy as possible for you. What we use our conscious mind for is to direct the words out of our mouths. We use our conscious minds to think the thought that needs to be thought to demonstrate what we need to have or what we choose to have in our lives. That's our only job. And if we find that we have some hidden beliefs and deep-seated limitations inside of us, we get to work to change that. Where did that come from? Well, my parents said money doesn't grow on trees and you just can't have it and there's never enough and all of that. But do you want to keep that? It's not yours. Do you want to keep that or do you want to leave it, let it go? If you're going to let it go, what are you going to do to replace that with something else? Well, I want to know that I live in an abundant universe where there's more than enough for all. And that we experience this freedom in every way with abundant prosperity and vibrant health and loving relationships. That's what I want to know, so that's what you think. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. All you need to do is choose the thoughts that will set law in mind. There is some part of you that is greater than you know. There is some part of you that you can rely on. There is some part of you that you can use. And you don't have to know all of it. You don't even have to know much of it. Anyone who thinks that they know how physical form manifests, how God showed up as us, they don't. Maybe we can get a glimpse, maybe we can give it a really good spin, but we don't know how we showed up. All we know is that the fact that we are here is evidence of the presence of God itself. And if whatever God is all that there is, and if there was more than God, then the two powers would be in conflict, and time and space, the unified field, would not be able to stay together. If God is all that there is, then God has to be made manifest in its totality at every point, in every moment, and that means that all of God is you. I don't know how that works, but I know it makes me feel better. I know that when I set my intention for something that I can be questioned about or criticized about, then knowing that there is something greater within me, greater than I can even imagine on a conscious level, helps me to hold on to that and to say that we deserve to live the life that we desire, that we deserve to have it all, that we deserve to do, be, say, go wherever it is we want to. We deserve that because all of God is made manifest as us right here and right now. The thing to do is to take the heat off of it. It's just a game. It's just a game. Money is just paper. Even the gold is just a piece of rock. Nice pieces of rock. But really, take the heat off of it. Know that you always have infinite choices and possibilities. If you think a thought you don't want to live, have a second thought. Think a different thought. That's why they call it new thought. Get one. Start to open up to the idea that you are greater than you know, that you are loved more than you dream possible, that there is more prosperity and riches trying to find a way into your life than you could ever spend or handle, and that the entire universe supports you in who you are every moment of every day. It's a game. Play it. But now that you know the rules, play it well and play it to win. And so it is.